We're getting a look at President Trump's latest vanity project to remake Washington, D.C. in his image. Trump officials shared these mock-ups of the proposed 250-foot arch he wants to build near Arlington National Cemetery. It features a golden inscription reading "One Nation Under God," topped with a winged Lady Liberty statue and two 24-foot eagles. Now, a historian and 3 veterans are suing, arguing that congressional approval is required to build it and that it would block views of Arlington. Vietnam War veteran Jon Gundersen is one of the plaintiffs. He says, quote, "I've often visited Arlington National Cemetery with its inspiring view of the Lincoln and Washington monuments, and which honors those who paid the ultimate price for their country, including some of my comrades from the Vietnam War. This sacred site and this historic view should not be desecrated by the planned arch." Jon Gundersen joins us now. He served in the U.S. military, and he's also a former U.S. diplomat. Also with us is Nick Sansone, an attorney at Public Citizen Litigation Group and counsel in this case. So, John, as a diplomat in the military, you've served under so many presidents, Republican and Democrat. Why is it so important for you right now to step up and to take a stand against this proposed memorial?
Well, thank you for having me here. With my fellow Vietnam vets and good friends, we started looking at the project, and we were neutral. You know, we want to honor veterans. We're glad that people are thinking about it. And we looked at the project. For one thing, as you mentioned, it's 3 times the size of the Lincoln Memorial. It's bigger than the Statue of Liberty or the Arc de Triomphe. And it ruins the view. If you've ever been to Arlington Cemetery and you're there at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, you see this beautiful sweep. You see the Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Monument, the Capitol, all the iconic parts of America. All of them had been cleared and by Congress, all the stakeholders. And this monument, I use that word loosely, would not only block the view, it's on a traffic circle. You can't get there. Visitors can't get there. So we want something that has congressional approval of the stakeholders, including the veterans. It's just wrong. It's absolutely wrong.
John, the arch is supposed to commemorate America's 250th birthday. What kind of monument or other site do you think would be more appropriate? What would you like to see built?
Yeah, well, I'm for all sorts of honoring veterans. When we returned from Vietnam, it was a very controversial war. We certainly weren't greeted well, but that has changed. I would say the Arlington site itself, that was a sign of unity after the Civil War. And the Lincoln Memorial and Arlington Cemetery looked at each other. The Vietnam War Memorial was very controversial, if you remember. But now it is one of the most visited sites in Washington. And why is it so important and so good? It honors the soldier. There's no general on a horseback. There's no discussions of presidents. It's about the average soldier. And it's not about a cause or a president, but the sacrifices the average soldier made for his country or her country.
Nick, I was wondering if you can tell us a little bit about the legal argument that is being made here. Maybe most of our viewers don't know what the appropriate way monuments get built in Washington, D.C. And certainly when you put it in the context with this specific president, it's a president who's slapping his name on everything from the Kennedy Center to currency. He's plastering his picture on agency buildings. The Department of Justice, I believe, has his picture on it. But what's the legal argument for why this is going about the wrong way?
Certainly. So actually, since even before the founding of the nation, at the time of the Continental Congress and, after the enactment of the Constitution, Congress has played a substantial role in determining the layout and configuration of monuments in the nation's capital. And there's a reason for that. And that's because these monuments are meant to tell a national story with buy-in from all the relevant constituencies. And so Congress has enacted a law called the Commemorative Works Act that makes sure that any time an administration wants to create a monument in the core of Washington, D.C., it does so following congressional approval and a series of reviews to make sure that that monument is appropriately situated, that it won't disturb the existing configuration of monuments, and that it is designed in a way that sort of has the approval and has the buy-in of the American people. And this project has not had that authorization. And therefore, unless and until Congress has approved the construction of this arch in this specific site, it's not authorized by law.
Jon, when you look at this monument, what do you see? I ask because, as you mentioned, it's massive. Would have these gold eagles, very sort of opulent seeming. And it's coming at a really difficult time for the country. People see their gas prices and really the price of what feels like almost everything going up. Many people are very alarmed by a war that also did not go through Congress. There's some themes here. And I'm just curious what symbol you think it represents, what message it sends at a time like this.
Yeah, it's a tough one. As somebody who has served, and we all served, by the way, my two other colleagues who are involved, Mike Lemon and Sean Burns, and served in Vietnam, and we served behind the Iron Curtain in totalitarian, authoritarian regimes, and we know what it is to have a one-person rule. Now, we're not here against a single president. Just the idea that it is not a single person that we owe allegiance to. It's the Constitution and it's the other people. And I'll go back to the Vietnam Memorial, because there everyone is equal. We live together, we die together. And if you're a private or a general, you're the same under our nation, under God, whatever your faith would be. This is a monument, it's a vainglorious monument to a person. If it had been another one, we would do the same thing. But no other president has done this before. Lincoln and Washington, all of these monuments have gone through the proper process. And that's all we're asking. And then when we stop it, then we can look at some more appropriate monument in an appropriate place. By the way, this is on the flight pattern to Reagan National Airport. It'll tie up traffic. It's the wrong place, and you can't get to there. You got to run across traffic road. Anyone who's been in Washington knows this is a horrendous place to build anything, particularly blocking the sight view of our most sacred monuments.
Jon Gundersen and Nick Sansone, thank you both so much. Great to have you on the show.
My pleasure. Thank you.